The SciShow team told me that floating down the river is a beloved summertime pastime here in Missoula. Just a lazy summer afternoon with a drink in your hand. Then you wipe out, get some water up your nose, no big deal. Except a week later, you're dead. Okay, so don't let me scare you too much, but if you get infected by a so-called brain-eating amoeba, this really can happen. It doesn't mean you have to let them keep you up at night. These amoebas are deadly, but there are a lot of reasons not to panic. So here's why you should and shouldn't be terrified. Let's start with the basics. An amoeba is a type of single-celled organism called a protist, not related to the bacteria and viruses that cause most infections. Lots of them live in the environment, recycling organic matter, while others are parasitic, giving animals bellyaches and bloody stools. Then there's the amoebas that normally live a long and happy life in the environment, but if they get into you, things can go very, very wrong very, very fast. One of those is the brain-eating amoeba Naegleria fowleri, which acts super fast, doesn't care how healthy you are, and is found worldwide, though it causes the most trouble in the US, Pakistan, and Australia. It causes primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, or PAM, which is pretty much every doctor's worst diagnostic nightmare. It's hard to identify and incredibly deadly. Symptoms can start within a day and usually progress to death by day 5 after that. That's not a lot of time for doctors to jump in and do something, even if you're able to seek treatment quickly. Plus, PAM has non-specific symptoms like stiff neck, headache, fever, vomiting, confusion, and hallucinations. If you've seen the TV show House MD, you might know that doctors are trained to assume that the sound of hoofbeats probably means horses, not zebras. What that means is that there are tons of other more common diseases that can be causing those symptoms before you jump to the conclusion that you're looking at a super rare amoeba. Oh, and you only have about 5 days to figure out that this time it is a zebra before the zebra kills your patient. Dr. House would probably figure it out in the nick of time and say something rude but clever about it. But TV isn't real life, and the zebra problem makes this disease really dangerous. A lot of what's happening in PAM seems to be your immune system just immune systeming too hard. It's losing its mind, trying to evict the amoeba nestled into your brain. It tries to destroy the amoebas, but unlike Pokemon, it can't catch them all. And when it realizes that, it crashes out a bit, releasing pro-inflammatory and neurotoxic molecules and damaging your nerve cells in the process. Add that to the amoeba itself pulverizing and snacking on your brain cells, and you've got a ton of brain destruction really fast. That's why scientists don't know as much as they'd like about this disease. It has a rapid onset with ambiguous symptoms, and 97% of people end up dead. If you're someone who likes to have a diagnosis before it kills you, then this amoeba is kinda terrifying. But before you start losing sleep over this little guy, let's talk about some of the things that make it a little less scary, starting with how you get it. That is, right after we keep the lights on with this quick break.
This SciShow video is supported by Brilliant, the online learning platform designed to help you achieve deep mastery of a new topic. And there are so many topics to choose from in their newly expanded content library. 2025 brought a huge wave of new content with tons of new courses crafted by experts. Last year, they doubled the size of their content library with new interactive courses in math, computer science, science, and more. For example, if you've been vibe coding, Brilliant can give you a strong foundation in logic, correctness, and efficiency. To learn for free with Brilliant for a full 30 days, go to brilliant.org/scishow, scan the QR code on screen, or click on the link in the description. They're also giving you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant with 20% off an annual premium subscription.
N. fowleri usually lives in water. Things like lakes, hot springs, or your neighbor's questionably maintained pool can all harbor the amoeba, especially if it's warm. It's even been found in tap water. But gulping down some pond or tap water isn't going to get your brain on the menu because stomach acid kills Naegleria fowleri. The only way it can infect you is through your nose. Once it's in there, scientists think it can sense neurotransmitters like acetylcholine and use that to make its way brainward and cause PAM. That means as long as you're keeping water out of your nose, you're safe. In the US, it's mostly young boys who get infected, probably because they're more likely to be splashing around and accidentally snorting water than most other folks. So make sure your kids know how to avoid getting water up their nose. The other behavior that can make you more at risk is rinsing your sinuses with tap water. Whether it's done for ritual cleansing or because it's been a while since you've had 2 clear nostrils, the CDC recommends using distilled or boiled tap water. Otherwise, you could be rocketing this amoeba straight to your brain. If you can avoid getting sketchy water up your nose, you'll probably never have to worry about getting infected with this amoeba, especially since it's evolved for a vegetarian diet of bacteria and fungi, not human brains. It's not adapted to feed on human tissue, and its life cycle comes to an abrupt end inside our brains. It's a lose-lose situation, so try not to get too mad at the amoeba. It has no incentive to hurt us. The thing I really want to emphasize here is that PAM is a zebra. It's rare. rare, vanishingly, extraordinarily rare. Less than 10 people a year in the US get PAM. And since the disease was first described in the 1960s, fewer than 500 cases have been reported globally as of 2025, meaning at all. Ever. It's kind of like plane crashes. They're incredibly uncommon, so much so that every single one makes the news, so you hear about it every time it happens, making them seem way scarier than they need to be. PAM is also, ever so slowly, becoming less of a death sentence than it used to be. Of the 5 survivors recorded in North America, 1 was from the 1970s, while the other 4 were all from the 21st century. That's progress, and it can be diagnosed in time. Let's say your doctor takes a history and knows you've been swimming in dodgy water recently. You don't guess zebras first, but you also don't rule them out. So they decide to sample your cerebral spinal fluid. In that case, a technician could see the amoeba under a microscope. Even though that diagnosis would have to be confirmed, the doctor could decide to start treatment. There are a couple of drugs out there that work if started in time. So there's some reason for hope, but there's also some less appetizing trends. Remember how you need to get water up your nose to get infected? That may not be entirely the case. See, the amoeba can shrivel up into little cysts that survive dry periods and get blown around in dust. A 2019 paper suggests that up to 8% of cases in the Indian subcontinent are so-called dry infections, where the blowing cysts are inhaled, which is much harder to prevent than water up the nose. And the climate crisis might be making things worse too. And fowlerized turf has been expanding northward, and increasing global temperatures might explain why. Warmer temperatures are appealing to both the amoeba and potential swimmers, which make for a deadly combo. Because of that, the 2019 paper also argues that N. fowleri is an emerging infectious disease. That's a disease where the rate of new diagnoses has been increasing for the last 20 years and is expected to continue going up. According to that definition, PAM might fit the bill, with researchers finding global incidence increasing and noting that the climate crisis will continue for the foreseeable future, so incidence will probably keep going up. However, other researchers argue that incidence of the disease is stable, and underreporting and advances in diagnostics might be skewing the data, so it's not a lock for emerging disease at all. But since that title grants perks like increased research, surveillance, and awareness, there's still an argument for putting it on the list. There's definitely reasons to be terrified of this amoeba, especially if you're a tiny bacteria or really enjoy getting water up your nose on the regs. But unless you have really, really bad luck, the brain space you dedicate to this amoeba will probably go uneaten.